Hey y'all, Leanna Social here with Lipstick and Livelihood. This is episode 4 of Lipstick and Livelihood. I am absolutely thrilled to be here with my friend Kerri Paul. If you are not familiar, Kerri Paul is from the Mississippi Gulf Coast, as well as myself, and she is an influencer extraordinaire, a restaurateur. We are in her location of Brick and Spoon right here in Gulfport, Mississippi, and she'll tell us a little bit more later about her other restaurants that she owns and some of her other really exciting endeavors that she has just recently been involved with. So, Kerri, welcome to Lipstick and Livelihood.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here today.
Thank you for being here with me. You are fabulous. It has been so hard to tie you down with your busy schedule.
Oh my God, I know.
Thank you so much.
Today has been very busy, and I said, hella hot water. I cannot cancel for my girl.
Thank you. Again, but that's okay because I know she's busy. First, let's start with what you're wearing today. It is Lipstick and Livelihood, so you have to share one of your favorite beauty products or your lipstick that you're wearing today.
Today I've got the NYX Lip IV, and it's like a lip gloss with a ton of pigment. So as y'all can see, it's giving a little punch.
Yes. Very, very pretty. I love it. I love it. So, Kerri, I had the pleasure of attending an event here a few months ago, right here in the Brick, as we like to call it, or as you like to call it. And it was an amazing brunch with Letitia Pearson. And you just started a new endeavor with them in the last few months. You've been busy on the go, which is why it was so hard for me to tie her down. So, super exciting news. Tell us a little bit more about this new endeavor, which just dropped this week on social media. So, by the time this airs, most people will be aware of it. So tell us about it. What is it? And what was the experience like for you?
I am the newest Belle on the Belle Collective, one of OWN's hit docuseries. And this show is about women in business, women entrepreneurs, and highlighting women who are doing amazing things in Mississippi.
Yes.
So I was so excited to be asked to be a part. I've been watching the show for years and wondering how come they don't ask me to be a part.
Right.
But I do live on the Gulf Coast, but I guess they wanted to expand their horizons for this
Yes.
season and beyond. And so I'm the newest Belle, ring the bell.
Yes.
Um,
So congratulations.
thank
Because to
you.
me, that is huge because you are the first person who is outside of Jackson to be
Yes.
on the show. This is season 6.
Yes.
For those of you that are not aware. And so you are helping to put the Mississippi Gulf Coast on the map even more.
That's right. And we're the
so-
secret coast for a reason. You know,
Absolutely.
a lot of people don't realize that we have this beautiful Mississippi Gulf Coast here. Like, people don't know their geography.
Right.
And so a lot of them don't even know that we have beautiful beaches and it's a tourist area. And that's kind of what brought me even into the entrepreneurial space and the restaurateur space, because there was a need to bring a brunch restaurant down here.
Absolutely.
So it all
you were
kind of
one of the first, like,
we
almost
were
like
the first.
boutique-y, cute, but outside of like going to a casino or Chimneys,
Yes.
that's been here forever.
Yes.
But Brick and Spoon
Strictly
was the
brunch
first
restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Close
So
at 2:30 every day.
we're open from 7 to 2 every day.
Yes, 7 to 2. So.
Yep.
So you have 3 locations. We're going to get back to Belle Collective. Tell us about your 3 locations and what do we have here behind us?
So Brick and Spoon is a brunch restaurant. So we serve breakfast, brunch, and lunch. All the brunch specialties that you can think of, you know, your grits, eggs, and bacon, and down to your shrimp and grits.
My favorite, shrimp and grits.
That shrimp and grits is literally
So good.
delicious.
Absolutely love it.
We're known for our Bloody Mary, so I wanted to share our Bloody Mary mix. Our build your own Bloody Marys. You can put whatever ingredients. We have probably like 30 ingredients, and there's so many different combinations you can make with bacon, a deviled egg,
The olives, of course.
you know, pickled olives, pickled veggies, all the good stuff. And you know, a lot of us don't really drink Bloody Marys. Actually, it's not.
I love a Bloody Mary.
I love a Bloody Mary,
If
but
you
it's
drink a V8, you would love a Bloody Mary.
exactly. Now we also serve the mimosas. Now we gonna drink a mimosa now.
Right.
So we also have a lot of amazing mimosas. So, you know, it's just brunch. Brunch is such a huge thing in the South, everywhere. You know, on the weekends, you don't want to get up early. You want to still have your grits and eggs, but you want to have it at 1.
Right.
So come to brunch.
Absolutely. So what was it like? Let's go back to the beginning because, of course, I was at your very first groundbreaking in Biloxi, your first restaurant. And I know that it took a lot of just challenges even to get you to that first restaurant.
Oh my goodness.
And now
blood,
you
sweat,
are
and
at
tears.
restaurant 3. So if you don't mind sharing, like, maybe some of the testimony or some of the things that you guys went to, what inspired you to even become a restaurant owner?
Child, I'm not about to sit up here and cry because I will. I will get,
Yeah.
because it
It's been a
is,
journey.
people don't understand what it takes. They see the fruit, but they don't understand the seed and the watering and the fertilization. So
Right.
for us, I had gotten let go from my corporate job. So I had, a corporate 6-figure job. I was a big boss, well, I wasn't a boss, but I mean, I was kind of like,
Well paid
doing,
boss
yeah,
babe.
right. And, people like us, we don't think in our teens and our 20s, we don't think we'll ever actually get fired from a job,
Right.
But I actually got laid off. They closed my position. And so I really had to do some soul searching. And I did look for jobs in the PR industry for a little while. And you know how folks, they're going to try to lowball you and offer you entry level positions. And I'm like, I'm late 30s, like I'm a director,
Yeah.
like y'all really trying to get me in an entry level. I wasn't having that. So basically, I told my husband, I said, you know what? I can no longer work for the man. I literally told him that. And
The
I said,
man.
yeah, we're going to have to do something different. And I come from a family of entrepreneurs. My dad was an engineer by trade, but he also had homes. They were in real estate. They
Yeah.
were landlords. They
I
had a
remember because you used to live in one of your
I lived
parents'
in one of them.
properties.
Exactly. I lived in one of them, but my parents had 14-unit apartment complex and other homes that they built and sold and rented. And my dad, even when he was an engineer back in Stennis Space Center in New Orleans, he commuted every day.
Okay.
And back in the 80s and 90s, he was like, oh, there's a lot of people from, Mississippi that commute. And literally, he created the first Uber. My dad bought a Ford van
Wow.
and created a van pool and commuted his friends and his coworkers to work and charged them. And so my whole life, I saw my parents as entrepreneurs. My mom had a construction cleaning company, her and a lady across the street. So entrepreneurship was not
It wasn't new to
lost on
you.
me. No. And so I always knew that that was a part of my spirit. And remember when I had the shoe warehouse? I
I
mean, we forget
do.
about that,
Yes.
but in my early 20s, my sister and I owned a shoe store for about 3 years. Of course, 2008, the bottom fell out, so we
Right.
closed.
Recession.
But we did. I mean, I knew that if I was going to move back to the Gulf Coast, my home, which there's nothing wrong with living at home. But, a lot of times when you go off to college, it's like, oh, I got to go back home. But like
Right.
when I moved back home, I knew that I wanted to do something different and bring something to the coast and leave it better than I found it.
Yep.
And so with all of that combined, I was like, you know what? There's a need for a brunch restaurant here. And to make a long story short, my partner, my business partner now, her brother was my husband's biggest client. My husband is a sports agent. And so he had been watching what Brittany, my partner, was doing with another restaurant.
Right.
And so he connected us and I loved her energy and I was like, oh yeah, this is
Yes.
a marriage made in heaven.
3 restaurants later.
And 3 restaurants later, 3 kids later, another interesting thing about us, I have a set of twins plus one. She does too.
I know that because
So
I
yeah.
follow her and I saw that they're little. She has some
Yes.
little bitty twins. They're
Yep.
under a year old now.
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
So we're both twin
What's her
moms.
name? So we
Brittany.
can Brittany
Thompson.
Thompson. Yes. So that is the co-owner of all three of your restaurants. So that is amazing. So I'm going to circle back a little bit because I know a little bit more because you've shared it publicly here on the coast. Kerri gets invited to speak, but you all had a beautiful, beautiful home built in Biloxi. And when you went through that job loss, you guys sold your house.
That's right. Well, I knew I had a great asset. We had built a custom home. So it was our dream home. And when I built it, I knew in the back of my head, like, this house is going to have a lot of equity. One of our friends built it for us. So we walked into a ton of equity.
That's awesome.
And in the back of my head, I knew, like, this is going to be my thing.
Right.
I didn't think I was going to just sell it. But, when I lost my job and my husband had even lost his job at some point, being in professional baseball. And it was like, you cannot rely on these jobs. Right. That's what we knew. And we knew that we wanted to do something different. So we put that for sale sign on our house. We moved in with my parents and the rest is history. And I mean, we literally sold everything. I wasn't afraid to take a risk, but I also knew that we could take that risk because my parents, they owned their home. They had a nice size home that we could move into. And honestly, we've done it 3 times. Moved back in with my parents, and
I didn't realize
built up.
That many times. Wow.
Yep. So we moved in with them when we built the house, And then we sold it and we moved in with them. And then one other time we moved back in, but then I'd had enough at that point.
Man, and your parents are their own influencers. Yes. Thanks to you on social media. They are just amazing. I call her Aunt Elle.
Yep.
And they have gotten their own following.
Yes, they do.
They are so,
they have their own
and they're
fans.
in their, is it late
80s?
Okay, I was going to say late 70s, 80s, early 80s. And you're the baby of the family.
Yep.
So what was that like growing up being the baby with your parents?
It was good because I had older parents. And so it was almost like I was raised by grandparents. Yes, they were established, and child, they was studying me. You know, they had already had my sisters and my brother, and they had already done everything. And so by the time I came along, my mom had already raised her siblings plus us.
Wow.
So she was a pro. And I mean, it was really good having older siblings. I have a sister who's 11 years older than me. So I have a lot of old soul in me because she's Gen X.
Right.
I'm a millennial, but I have a lot of Gen X in me because...
And you have older parents, so of course they influenced you.
Yes, I grew up being... Like my husband's parents were the same age like as my sister almost.
Oh, wow.
So that was kind of just like, oh, I got the real old school parents, you know? Yeah. So, you know, I can relate to a lot of things with a lot of different generations because I've been exposed to so much.
That's amazing. I love that. So let's go back to the Belle Collective. So how did it come that you, one of the first ones, well, the first one on the Mississippi Gulf Coast to join the cast that has been based in Jackson, Mississippi? How did they find you? How did you find them? Did you put yourself out there, or were you discovered? Tell us all about it.
Child, I was discovered. Well, Letitia and I have been friends on social media. You know, on social media, you can have literally a best friend you never met in the world. Yes. So that is
There's nothing weird about that.
Right,
I've heard people say that that's weird, but I'm I literally have been following Tambra Cherie, who was also on Belle Collective since I worked in radio umpteenth years ago because she was a radio girl.
Exactly.
And I feel like she knows me by name.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And I finally got to meet her when you all had the event here in person, but I've been following her forever. So yeah.
So Letitia and I had been friends on social media because we were both in the brunch space. So whenever I opened my first brunch restaurant, I think she followed me because she has Women's Brunch Mississippi. And so we became close through that.
Yes.
And then I saw that she did the Belle Collective, and I've been cheering her on for years, but I never asked or anything, but just been cheering her on and staying connected. And this last season, they lost 2 of their cast members. And so they came and got Big K to replace the 2 ladies that left. And, she hit me up and was like, hey, do you want to be on our show? I said, yeah. And I went through casting and they were like, girl, you got this. And
I love it.
I think I knew in the back of my head that I had it, because I have a production mind. Being a content creator, I understand production.
Well, not only that, Kerri, you've been on other reality shows, at least one other, maybe 2, if I remember correctly. So can you tell us, I remember watching you and your cousin Stacy. So you're not new to the reality world.
No, I'm not new to the reality world. So back in 2010, we did The Amazing Race. And so that's an Emmy Award winning show on CBS. It's been on for over 20 years. And that was my first foray into the reality world. Yeah. But, being a content creator, I'm always in front of the camera. And I've always kind of done that. It's like you look at the kids now doing TikTok and I'm like, my cousins have not been making up dances. If there was a TikTok back then, we would have definitely been some little TikTok stars or whatever because we've been doing this.
Right.
So, and then my kids, they want to be next. So, Lord.
I'm glad because they've been in front of the camera since they were babies.
Yes.
They're all so cute. Two beautiful girls and a handsome son. And so their mom's an influencer. They're the next generation, basically, in your home.
I got to see if I'm
including the parents, your parents. But so what do you want to share with the people out there that some people are very hesitant about having their kids on camera and putting them on camera? And, you're very, very, you are we will see you with no makeup on, with your hair looking however. We see the real Kerri. We see the outtakes. We see everything. So I love how authentic you are. So for those that, how has it benefited your family? I guess that would be my question. How has it helped your family and your kids just being so exposed to social media, as some parents are a little bit leery of that?
I think they enjoy it. And I'm very aware of how they're feeling about it because I don't force them to do it. I mean, I do kind of, come on now, I got to do this shoot if
Yeah.
it's like a
I have to
brand.
bribe my kid to take a picture, my 16-year-old. So,
Exactly.
you know.
But they do enjoy it, and I think it helps them with their confidence because it's showing them how to speak and how to be in front of the camera and
Absolutely.
how to speak to adults. And I'm just a really big proponent of showing your children the world and like world schooling your kids.
Right.
So even being in the entrepreneurial world and having a restaurant, I notice my kids have a business mindset, and they'll say things sometimes, and I'm so impressed by them. We'll pull up in Brick and Spoon Biloxi's parking lot every now and then, and Jean will make a comment. Ooh, mommy, it's a lot of cars. Y'all are making a lot of money today, and I'm like, she put two and two together. Like, literally, that's something I would tell Brittany.
Right.
And they just really have such a great mindset of business.
Which doesn't surprise me. Look who their mom is.
Well, and I'm thankful for that because I want them to understand because, there's so many things that we don't know or that we don't even know what we don't know.
Right.
And I feel like as women of color, a lot of times, we'll go to college. We don't know what to major in that's going to make us what we want in life. And I'm not even saying a lot of
Absolutely.
money, but if you desire to live a certain type of lifestyle, you have to have money. That's going to be one of your biggest resources. And a lot of times, we don't know what to major in. We don't know what to do. We don't know
Right.
what path to take because maybe we didn't see it or maybe.
We weren't exposed to it. So many people.
Exactly.
There's a lot of generational poverty in the state of Mississippi, unfortunately. And like you said earlier, the coast is, and Mississippi has some amazing people, amazing entrepreneurs, amazing places to visit. It's beautiful down here, but we do have that stigma. And so what you are sharing on your social media and exposing your kids to is absolutely phenomenal. So, I mean, this is going to be kind of segueing back to the Belle Collective, but I'm just so excited to see the show and see how you showcase us. I know that they came down here and filmed, but we got to hear some of the tea. Like, who did you beef with, or who did you absolutely love? I mean, was there any beef? What was the experience like for you?
Beef, let's say beef. I would say a little, like I say, I love humor. I love to have a little pun. Um, you'll
And you
see,
have a strong personality. You can
yeah,
hold your own in pretty much any space.
yes,
So there's
and
some other women that have strong personalities on that show.
yes. So Letitia brought me in, and so of course we vibe well because we're both in the brunch space, and we
Yes.
love to empower women. For me, it's all about, like my mom told me, don't let your reputation beat you home. Like you've got to put your best foot forward in all phases of life.
That's great
And
advice.
even when you're faced with a challenge or something that could bring you down, for me, I'm the one that's like, don't let that.
Right.
Even when you're dealing, like some of the cast members, they had some things that, it was a moment where it could have made them look badly or like brought them down. But it's like, I'm the one in the background saying, put your shoulders back, stand with your
Right.
head up. You're not about to get into that cussing match. Don't do that. That's not you. That's not, you have a lot to lose.
Right.
You're here to build a brand and you're here to show the world classy Southern Belles.
I love it.
And so I feel like that was a part of my role on the show. And I did that a lot with, some of the castmates.
Okay.
I kind of tied up with Marie a little bit because Marie likes to talk. I like to talk. Maria get up on her soapbox and I'm like, let somebody else speak, Lord, child. But she's a very intelligent woman, and she gonna let you know she's intelligent. That's fine. So Marie and I kind of bumped heads a little bit, but I still have love for Marie. Yeah, the other ladies, Tambra, Latrice, Selena. I love Selena. Like getting to know Selena, just her heart. Oh my God. And like they call her Jackson's Beyonce, and I know why.
Oh yeah.
Some people want to be like, what do you mean? But when you meet that lady in person, she is absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, she is.
Like
I
she
met
is
her here.
stunning.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's like the TV does not do her justice, but she is really stunning, like a brick house. And
Wow.
just to be that beautiful and have that type of a
And be
heart,
humble.
the humility, and just she's just Southern. I just loved it.
Yeah.
Tambra, of course, we vibed because I mean we're very similar. We have a lot of mutual friends. We love to be on the scene and know what's popping, what's going on. She's got that radio television background the same as me, so we vibed. And Latrice, of course, we vibed on being like boss women, entrepreneurs. we're always trying to figure out our next move, and she has a restaurant too. So I mean,
yes, that's right.
I feel like I vibe well with the ladies.
That's great. I can't wait to see it.
I don't know. Maybe we'll see what their confessionals, their interviews say, but we had a good time.
So you haven't seen any takes. It's like you don't know
I've seen a
how
few.
they edit. Okay. I was curious to know.
I've seen a few, and we had some good jokes. For me, my muse is Whitley Gilbert from A Different World.
Yeah, I love
So
it.
for me, like I've always seen myself as like a little Whitley, like Southern
I
Belle.
can so see that.
Southern
As long as I've
Belle
known
and just,
you.
classy, keeping it classy. I mean, I get a little ratchet. I talked about Jackson being ratchet on the show and they tried to get me, but I'm like, it is ratchet. But that's what we love about it. I used to scrape to get to Jackson on the weekends by my sister, like for years. Like I loved it because it's a city of us.
Right.
So
That's kind of like Atlanta. I mean,
yeah,
same,
yeah,
very
same vibe.
similar.
So we had a good time.
Good. So when does it actually air? When is the first episode dropping?
Belle Collective airs this season 6 on Friday, October 3rd. So I am
y'all tune
excited.
in.
That's right.
October 3rd on the OWN network. And then how can you, if you don't have OWN, you can like download an app or go online. Isn't there other ways to watch it?
I need to really get abreast of how you can watch it. I know that I am watching previous seasons on HBO Max and Prime.
Okay.
One time I downloaded Discovery, like Discovery Plus, and then you can get it.
Okay.
There's different ways. Okay. Maybe Hulu, but I'm not 100% positive. But
well, y'all, we need to blow this season out of the water. If you're on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, make sure you tune in October 3rd to support Kerri Paul of Brick and Spoon. Again, she's got 3 restaurants. Tell us the locations.
We've got Gulfport is in the Crossroads Shopping Center. We've got Biloxi, which was our very first store. It is in Edgewater by Edgewater Mall in Biloxi. And did I say Gulfport? Mm-hmm. Crossroads Shopping Center in Gulfport.
In Gulfport.
Okay.
Right here where we are today.
That's right. We've got our Gulfport location in the Crossroads Shopping Center in Gulfport. We've got the Biloxi location in Edgewater next to Edgewater Mall. And then our brand new location is off of I-65 in Mobile. Y'all come and see us over there.
Beautiful.
It is.
I'm actually a little jealous.
Beautiful.
Like, why couldn't Gulfport get? I mean, this is beautiful as well, but y'all did that thing,
and we did that ourselves.
I saw that.
That was our brainchild.
On your Instagram.
Yes, we
do it yourself.
Yes,
I mean, it's.
We renovated it ourselves, and I'm so proud. So I want people to come and see and like enjoy the fruits of our labor and just.
Well, I am so proud of you, and I hope nothing but continued success.
Thank you.
And we are going to close this out very shortly, but I want to mention something. I literally just saw you posted, I think, in the last few days or week on Instagram about someone calling you Job, and I loved the post. Job in the Bible. We're going to end on that note because, of course, this is about faith, fashion, and business. And you obviously, especially your husband, I always see him talking about God, are faith people. And I know that faith has gotten you through a lot of challenging times.
Yes.
And why did your friend say that she compared you to Job in the Bible? I want to know that story.
That's my manager, and she knows all the intimate details of everything we've been going through. So when we opened Mobile, we quietly opened. Mm-hmm. So it's not doing as well as it should be. And so we're having to make some, changes. There's some challenges there, but everybody knows in the restaurant business, there are ups and downs. Mm-hmm. And, we just really need the community to wrap their arms around us and go out to eat and come and support. And just knowing all of the ups and downs that I've been through, just with the businesses, like, y'all just don't know. You might have $30,000 in your account one day and you negative $2,000 the next. Like, it is real.
Blood, sweat, and tears and money
absolutely
into your businesses.
There have been times where I've had one business propping up another. I might get a check and it's gone the next day. Yeah. And that's the reality of entrepreneurship. And sometimes you don't collect a check.
Yeah. And I love that you're being honest about it and transparent because people need to know that.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not all glitz and glamour.
No. No. And it's like I have to show the glitz and glamour part, but I do like to show the real part. But there's times I have to pay payroll out of my pocket. Like literally, I might get a check from working with a brand and I have to turn it over and pay my payroll. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that really sucks. Yeah. But the economy's kind of down right now.
Right.
And it's challenging. So she's saying that because she's referencing. We know what was coming. We know the show was coming out, and it's like, but you're like down.
Yeah.
But
one thing about Job that I love about the story of Job, if y'all haven't read it, make sure you read the book of Job. It's actually a short book in the Bible. Is Job never, of course the Bible says he never cursed God, which we know you wouldn't do that, but he stayed positive.
That's right.
He stayed positive. He kept pushing. He didn't get down on his luck. He never, ever gave up. And that's definitely who you are as a person.
Trying.
You have always been that person. So again, like I said earlier, continued success. Thank you for sharing that story. And thank you for being here today on Lipstick and Livelihood.
Thank you, girl. I'm so glad you have your podcast. Leanna is amazing herself. I mean, we've been digging and grinding together for years, and we were both in this space, in the entertainment space, and we've done so many different things. Leanna, you've done so many different things. So to bring this to fruition is beautiful, and I love.
I'm just trying to be like you when I grow up. Okay,
girl, child, we trying to be like each other.